Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an absolutely fantastic day. And without any further ado, let's jump right into what is going to be another very weird video. A lot of the news currently popping up in the cryptocurrency space is I have nothing but questions. Coinbase has had to dismiss rumors about a Bitcoin withdrawing limit on their website, stating that these claims do not hold true, as the information actually came completely out of nowhere. And this is one of the major problems with social media, is that if you have a big enough following and you say something that sounds crazy, but some people believe it to be true, other people begin to believe it. And without actually investigating any of the sources or the claims or the things that could have potentially not been, everyone simply shares it and sends it to other people. Then everyone goes into a complete panic. And part of the problem is that we have had these things happen within the cryptocurrency space before, and then they actually end up lowering the prices of the cryptocurrency market and or a lot of times Bitcoin, because a lot of people who are in and outside of the cryptocurrency space don't now this is gonna sound crazy. A lot of people don't understand that Bitcoin is its own entity. And I know that sounds insane for a lot of you who have read and understand things that are going on. But it's similar to years ago when the things were happening with Mt. Gox and Bitcoin's price fell. It's because people thought that Mt. Gox was literally a physical entity that was a part of Bitcoin. So a lot of times years ago, when you would hear that there was something wrong with another coin, if you've been here for like 5, 6, 7 years, you remember this. With another coin, people assumed it was all blockchains. All blockchains were on the same building having a fight with each other. And therefore, if one was in trouble, they were all in trouble. That's the problem with the cryptocurrency space. Coinbase has confirmed that such a withdrawal limit policy does not exist. For those of you who are using cryptocurrency exchanges and are not verified, depending on where you go, the way that it works is that they ask you for verification as to who you are, because if you have not verified, then you do have a daily limit as far as putting money in and taking money out as per government banking rules. However, if you have verified, there's usually no limits on your account. So lo and behold, when someone threw this out there and everyone completely ran away with it and began to have discussions as to if Coinbase was insolvent. Does Coinbase not have enough money? Does Coinbase not have all the Bitcoin that they're saying? Will I be able to take out my cryptocurrency from the website? Towards the end of November, someone on Twitter garnered a lot of attention, alleging that Coinbase had implemented a policy limiting Bitcoin withdrawals from the platform to a maximum of $5,000 per week. The post went viral because people don't read, people just click, people just share and send it to everyone else, and then absolutely scares the bejesus out of everyone who's out there. Someone by the name of Colin Brown said, at Coinbase is limiting Bitcoin withdrawals. I just tried to send Bitcoin from Coinbase to my cold wallet and encountered a new, he wrote new in caps, new 5K per week withdrawal limit policy implemented on the 10th of the 13th, the 13th of the 10th. I've been a Coinbase customer for 10 years. And he wrote in all caps, get your Bitcoin off exchanges, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. It has 4,600 likes and apparently gained over 250,000 views with more than 420 retweets in nearly, that's a lot more than 2,000 likes. The post also gained the attention of a crypto researcher known as Chris Bleck, B-L-E-C, who asked if anyone could verify the claim being made. What happens a lot of times, depending on what cryptocurrency exchange that you're on, and I need you to all really understand this, cryptocurrency exchanges are companies. I know that sounds weird, but let it sink in. They are centralized entities who you are trusting your cryptocurrencies with. Same exact way banks. Banks are not decentralized. They have a central location where you can go to and give them your money. In the instance that many times, if they deem that something might not be correct, might not be accurate, if you've been moving too much money in and or out of a cryptocurrency exchange and or a bank account, the bank may then implement something that says, hey, we need to talk to you to figure out why you're moving so much money in and out at a rapid period of time. And or there are a lot of cryptocurrency exchanges who, if you, now here's the logic, because I had to go through this, if you've been working with them for a number of years or you verified back in the olden days when crypto just got started, like 10 years ago, like this person said on Twitter, sometimes what they do is they say, hey, your information might be inaccurate. Why? Because over the course of 10 years, people move. People get new phone numbers, they get new computers, they get new devices. Do you have the same email from 10, 15 years ago? Not a lot of people do. I know I heard someone say, yes, congratulations to you that used to have the same exact email. But for everyone else out there, that's not usually the reality. So if they see that you're trying to take a huge amount of money, because imagine if the situation had been reversed. Imagine if someone got access to your account and you had not updated your files and your data from the last 10 to 15 years. Someone else got access to your account and every day they were taking $5,000 to $10,000 out of your Coinbase account every single day. Let's keep the train going. Keep it going. Okay, it's been 10 days. They've taken out $100K from your wallet without verifying if it's actually still you. Do you A, get completely annoyed and upset, or go, oh no, it's fine. Coinbase was just doing what I told them to do 10 years ago? No, you'd be like, why didn't you re-verify that this was actually me? At no point did you see 20,000 leaving my account and go, his documents are 10 years old. So what all crypto exchanges have been doing, you may have noticed, like you go onto the website, oh, it's cool, they have a new interface. Oh, the blue and white and red. Oh my gosh, the website's changing. You try and access something and they go, can you please submit new documents? And you get really upset, but then you have to realize they're doing this for your safety. Not only are you choosing them to hold your money, but they're trying to make sure that it actually is you on the website. This is why a lot of them have like a two-factor authentication thing, which you should all have on, which all of you in the cryptocurrency space should have on. That is to say, when you go to the website, you enter your username and then your password. And a lot of them will say, should we send you an email to make sure that this is also you, and or a text message, and or some other type of verifier. You should all have this on because it is a great way to make sure that someone else isn't actively stealing all of your money. You should all have it on. This is the 5th time I'm going to say it. In response to the rumors, Coinbase moved quickly to quell any concerns. A spokesperson for the exchange emphasized that these allegations were inaccurate and clarified that there was no policy limiting withdrawals when converting to Coinbase cash balances. So no one knows exactly what happened. No one, except for this man who posted this thing that got thousands of responses and also had 250,000 people looking and believing that something was wrong. You know there's an issue when I'm defending Coinbase. Coinbase is by far my least favorite crypto exchange. I don't care for their fees. I don't care for any of their policies that they've been going through. I hate this whole like stand with Coinbase thing, come kumbaya with us in the street, hold my hand kind of thing. I don't care for it. But Incredibly big, popular, scary, phantasmagorical news. This is something very important. A lot of people forget this. You are a customer of the cryptocurrency exchange, and in a way, they are working for you as you are the customer. If you ever have any concerns, any questions, do not feel afraid ever to contact a cryptocurrency exchange, especially if they are holding your money. This was a problem years ago where a lot of people, 4 or 5 years ago, people were claiming that there were problems on crypto exchanges. People were telling me, TMI, I lost some money, this happened, X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, contact them. Don't be afraid to send them an email. You need an answer. It's your money. Ask them any questions that you might have now about the future of your money, as far as cashing out, putting money in, especially if you are anticipating a wild 2024, 2025, send them an email. Ask them all the questions you have to get clarity about your money. Very important. So no, Coinbase is not limiting people taking out their money. No one knows where this claim came from. I hope this man got his money out. And since he was so bold to tell everyone to get your Bitcoin off exchanges, I hope that he has taken out every single bit of Bitcoin from every exchange that he is using and now has it on the ledger. That just seems to be the most logical to me, at least, right? That's the make sure you scare everyone on Twitter news. And yeah. Let's move on. Charles Hoskinson is in the news, everyday news. In a recent development, Charles Hoskinson, it says prominent blockchain entrepreneur and founder of Cardano, has shed light on the future of the JED stablecoin project. A lot of you might remember JED or DJED. It is DJED. From a couple of years ago, it was touted as the kind of the best thing that was ever going to happen to Cardano. Cardano has a lot of these moments and situations where everything that is going to happen to Cardano is the best and most awesomest thing that's ever going to happen to Cardano. We saw the rise of stablecoins and have been viewing the rise of stablecoins for the last couple of years. It really picked up steam around 2019, 2020 when a lot of countries, when Facebook announced that they were going to be creating their own coin, and governments went completely crazy because they've been planning on doing the exact same thing. And you can't have Facebook become the largest bank in the world basically overnight. So a lot of other countries began to announce that they were going to be making their own central bank digital currencies. And then a lot of them also started claiming that they were also going to be making their own stable coins. And then at this point, this is when a lot of the extra hate against Tether really began to arise by a number of news publications who are clearly owned by someone who's trying to make their own stablecoin and or get into the space because it's just a little bit too obvious at this point. That's when I hit myself. Why did I do that? That's when a lot of other projects began to announce we're making our own stablecoins. That's when we saw the fury of the Coinbase coin, Circle coin, trying to make sure that everyone knows what it is. That's when we heard about stable coins being potentially put on top of Bitcoin. That's when we started hearing about all the other Ethereum stable coins that were coming to the market and how amazing they were going to be. That's around the time in 2019, 2020 when we heard that Binance stable coin was going to rock the world and change everything, and you get the generalized idea. So a couple of other stablecoins came out. I think they tried to make one on Tron. I told you all 1,000 years ago, no one uses Tron. No one wants to use Tron. No one's building on top of Tron. No one was going to use the Tron stablecoin. And part of the problem is that this began like a rush for stablecoins from different projects. They told you that the point of the stablecoin was to make it easier for you to be able to transact in something that was similar to the US dollar. And then they did it for the euro, then they did it for the yen, then they did it for the Canadian dollar, then they did it for the peso, and then they did it for the yabba. Everyone kept on making a stable coin with the assumption that for some reason there was some grand desire out there by billions of people who desperately wanted to use stable coins. Nobody wants to use stable coins except for the people who are dealing and trading cryptocurrencies and they need like something stable to move into, and or the majority of people around the world who are trying to find some sort of a safe haven for where they can put their money that is hyperinflating by 124%. And we've heard news before that there are a number of people around the world who are trying and or putting their money into stable coins as a way to be like, I need to buy flour tomorrow. So on top of that, it was rumored that Cardano was going to have their own stablecoin because why not? Everyone else is doing it. The idea of these being like life-changing is absolutely nonsensical. The 3 or 4 stablecoins that are actually at the top of the list is basically all that we currently need right now. There's not that much of a pent-up demand for stablecoins. And a lot of the mass volume of them is barely even used. It's the same coins that ends up being circulated over and over and over. When you sell those coins back onto an exchange, they're there again. If you buy them up, even if it's like a $45 million buy, comparative to like $70 billion you get the generalized idea. So the idea was that Cardano and many other chains were also going to have their own stablecoins. It was going to revolutionize the planet. We'd move into a utopia. Everyone would love it, yada, yada, yada. Contrary to rumors of JED's discontinuation, Hoskinson has confirmed that the stablecoin is not only here to stay, but it's about to undergo a major transformation. So one, the problem is that no one was using the coin because no one wanted the coin. No one asked for the coin. Maybe people who wanted like extra development on the actual Cardano blockchain. We have to understand the main thing that really gives your blockchain value and power is the idea that people are using it. It has nothing to do with like people explicitly using smart contracts or doing this on top of it or building a video game or putting another coin on top of it that you can say is on another layer that then is also being used by blah, 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 blah. It's all nonsense. The idea of cryptocurrencies is to actually be used as a value of exchange, a metric, a measurement of value that can then be sent around the world instantaneously. This has been so convoluted. It's the same exact thing with the idea of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is meant to be used as a payment method. I send you money, you send me money. Thank you, I give you thumbs up, I walk away. The idea of Bitcoin being digital gold is another like distortion of the idea of what it actually is. That kind of makes sense, but then you have to walk into the room of, well, that means that no one would be using their Bitcoin. They would be hoarding it and storing it and then basing a new currency that's actually on the value of it. And then you talk about smart contracts, and then you talk about layer 2s, and then you talk about, what do you call it? NFTs, and what are Bitcoin NFTs called? Monopolies. I forgot exactly what they're called. And you keep building all these things on top of it. And then we get to the point where everything is so distorted behind the idea of what Bitcoin actually is, that the idea of, or the reality that, Bitcoin is being used by hundreds of millions of people and is transacting trillions of dollars per year just on the main chain means nothing to people because the distortion is so strong that people believe that the only thing that can save Bitcoin, the main chain that's doing trillions of dollars worth of transactions, is a Bitcoin ETF. That's the distortion that we're currently living in. So it's the same exact thing with Cardano. Cardano has partnerships. People are using Cardano. It's not the most popular form of payment, but I'm sure there must be people on the planet who are using it as a store of value and or using it and or believe in the project for what it could be. Simply announcing that there's going to be a stable coin on top of Cardano and it's going to change the world is nonsensical. The idea of the discontinuation comes from the fact that they had low trading volume because no one wanted it, no one asked for it, and no one's going to use it. However, in typical altcoin fashion, you can't announce that you have a failure. You can't say that something went wrong. So the only logical thing to do is say, no, actually, we're going to make sure that it's even better when it was supposed to have been even better from the get-go. You created it because you said that millions of people were going to be using it. And now that no one's using it, now it has to undergo some major transformation, which makes people think that, well, the first iteration wasn't that good. We knew that, but you didn't know that because you were told that it was amazing. And now this new major transformation, that's going to be it. That's going to be the new thing that once again saves Cardano when it should be usage and partnerships. Who's using the chain? How many people are building on top of the chain? Hoskinson said, no, we aren't dropping JED. We are supercharging the team. JED is a stablecoin developed by Input Output Global and powered by COTI, C-O-T-I, has gained attention for its over-collateralized nature, utilizing Cardano's native blockchain ADA as a reserve. JED's circulating supply is backed by 4 times the number of its outstanding coins. That is to say, if you have 100 coins, they have 400 to back it up. You know, it's over collateralized, which is a great thing. It doesn't have to be 4x. Like 4x is like a bit like, okay, calmate. Like it's not like that. You know, you don't need that much. Providing an additional layer of security and stability for its users. Despite its promising beginnings, JED faced some challenges when its reserve dwindled to 356%. That's not really a challenge. I'm sure somebody behind the scenes was like, we don't need 400% over collateralized. Like a lot of times you'll see collateralized assets or like over collateralized will be like 104%, 111%. 400 is like, okay, like you're doing this just for the hype now, leading to a temporary halt in minting new tokens due to low activity. Charles Hoskinson's statement may breathe new life into the JED product. So cool. Absolutely fantastic. They're going to be trying to rehype this project back up because we are once again at the time where everyone's paying attention to the Bitcoin halving and where prices are going to go. So the idea is if you can hype enough people up enough about a project within a project, that is the JED within the Cardano, then therefore you might get on the hype cycle. Like imagine like a literal like motorcycle. It's called hype. And as it drives by, you try and jump on it. If you can get enough people to pay attention to your coin, then it will garner more attention. This will probably not simply, I'm being honest as always, this will probably not simply because we already have Tether. We already have the Circle coin. We already have Binance's dollar. And what's the other really popular stablecoin that's out there as well? We have enough stablecoins. And the amount of activity that is currently and or previously on the Cardano blockchain doesn't necessarily require this. Of course, there are people who are going to find value in a stablecoin on Cardano. They will be the ones who use it. As long as its peg remains, they'll probably get several $1 million a day over the course of a bull run. But what have you. So cool. That's the Charles Hoskinson says they're going to be breathing new life into JED, which no one has asked for because, you know, you gotta keep throwing stuff out there. Something's going to stick to the wall eventually. That's the Cardano news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the newses, Turkey, the country, has set its sights on implementing cryptocurrency taxation and other regulatory measures as part of its 2024 presidential annual program. I know a lot of times life can be very overwhelming, and I mean like in every single possible aspect. So, of course, I assume not everyone has been paying attention to all the financial news that's been out there. There are a number of countries, like, you know, like when you hear, oh my gosh, Europe's inflation is like 7%. What are they going to do? And then it's like, oh my gosh, the USA has 9% inflation. What? That's crazy. There are other countries that have been going through inflation that's like over like 50, 60, 70% for the last like decade. And the last couple of years have not been very kind to Turkey economically. I won't go into why. It is a very clear answer. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm really thirsty. Here's some water. Gulp, gulp, gulp. I'm not thirsty anymore. Like as obvious as that kind of thing. However, in the midst of all of this, if you've been paying attention to a lot of my videos, we've had Turkey news before. A large part of the issue is that while inflation has run rampant and economic policies have not changed, the only people who've really benefited from the lower, how do I say this? The lower valuation of the currency within the country and also the lower prices of things comparatively to like France or Italy, what have you, are basically wealthy people who go shopping in Turkey. This was a news story, I think, in 2019. Yeah, it was definitely before Coco. Where things were already so bad in Turkey that prices had begun to fall for like a lot of things comparative to other countries. So there were a lot of people from Dubai who were going to Turkey to buy Louis Vuitton bags. And they were, you can find the video. Type in like, I don't know what you type in. Anyway, the point is they were talking to women who were standing on a line to get into Louis Vuitton. And they were like, why are you here? They said this bag costs $2,000 equivalent in Dubai. In Turkey, it's $740. So I'm here to buy as many bags as possible because I want cheaper bags. That was a generalized idea. All of this together has led to a situation where we, me, you, us, have been getting news about a number of countries around the world where we see an uptick in the amount of people on the planet who are actively buying cryptocurrencies as some form of a hedge comparative to their local currency. So while Bitcoin might on a monthly basis have a 6, 7, 8% fluctuation, it's nothing compared to a 60, 70% inflation rate where, if I keep my money on this piece of paper, I'm really going to lose money. Or if I put my money into Bitcoin, it may have fluctuations, but I'm hearing in the news that Bitcoin might do a 6 or 7x from where it currently is over the course of the halving. People are going to make a choice in one direction that they believe is the correct one. So there's been a massive uptick in the amount of Turkey, normal like citizens who have been buying cryptocurrencies over the last couple of years in an attempt to escape the inflation that they've been undergoing. That's why I say a lot of times we forget very easily how lucky that we are from the things that we have. We don't usually feel the effects of like this hyper inflation and other things that are actually going on. But then you understand that this is also one of the reasons why the cryptocurrency space is important, because before this, you wouldn't have had many options, but there's now a network that allows people around the world to be able to enter it at any time that they want. 8 billion people can all join this network. And this is why the country's like, hey, the last couple of years, people have been getting into crypto. Now we want some money from it. Turkey has reignited their focus on cryptocurrencies and exchanges as part of its 2024 presidential annual program, signaling the possible implementation of taxation and other regulatory measures. Although there were several discussions on crypto regulation in previous years, no concrete steps had been taken. The government now plans to finalize regulations within the coming year. According to the official Gazette, which published decision number 7739 approving the 2024 presidential annual program, the government intends to complete crypto regulations next year. The document reveals a few key points related to cryptocurrencies on the policies and blah, 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 blah. And of course, it keeps going on and on and on. Turkey, much like Argentina, I believe Venezuela, and there's one other place on the planet, they're known as like big leaders in the cryptocurrency space, because as they've been undergoing years of economic hardships, a lot of times when we get news that new crypto wallets are being launched and or new activity in the space, a lot of times it's from Turkey. So the cryptocurrency regulations will allow for a legal solidification of the market to happen within the country, as opposed to making it this weird gray area. I hope they get the taxation correct. I have a feeling they will not. I have a very strange feeling they're going to try and do like a 40, 50% taxation rate, which will simply cause people to once again leave their country and make money other places. Very important news, as another gigantic portion of the world who is undergoing terrible economic policies, who has entered the cryptocurrency market. Now they're going to, it's going to be legal. Just a matter of, it's interesting as the years have gone on and every single brick gets put down, as every brick continues to build up the wall. It's fascinating to see like just how strong and how concrete and how established cryptocurrencies have actually become. But I think a lot of times, we get distracted by other things going on and we forget exactly how far we've come as a cryptocurrency market with all the things that have been going on. Yeah. I do sincerely hope that you have all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.